What's going on? All right. Just going to give it a couple more minutes, let people stroll on in. Can you guys hear me now? Am I audible? All right, good. So who is Fireblade again? Is that Jack? Okay. So we're going to talk about the grammar assignment. This is going to be a few different steps that you're going to, all of you should have chosen an article from the website. If you haven't done that, you need to go back to yesterday's assignments, click the link and choose an article. And what we're going to talk about today is your introduction paragraph. Okay. This paper should be at least 4 paragraphs long, hopefully 5. But if all you can cram in there is 4, then we'll work with that. Your introduction paragraph is important because it's going to lay out for the reader what they're about to get into. Okay. So what you need to do in your brainstorming is, remember we had that chart where we had the center and there was these things all around it. Okay. They essentially call it brainstorming because nothing organized will come from this process, right? This will produce a jumbled mess of ideas, but it's just kind of trying to get you on the right path towards something a little bit more lucrative. So what you need to do with this brainstorming sheet is you have to identify the things that are really important. How many of these things can you combine together in one different subject? So I'll give you an example. If you're writing an article on the coronavirus, maybe you want to talk about hygiene, how important hygiene is. Maybe you want to talk about how important it is to love each other in the midst of trials, right? But you need to narrow it down. It can't just be 6 million different subjects that you're trying to cover in one little bitty paper, right? Your paper should be concise, meaning it's targeting one subject within the subject. Does that make sense? Does everybody understand what I mean by that? So if it's coronavirus is a very general topic, right? So you want to identify what it is about that you're actually going to write about. Okay. Your introduction paragraph should outline what that's going to look like, right? So let's just say I wanted to write about, honeybees. And in my brainstorming, I came up with things like pollination. They give us honey. They're cool looking. They're a vital part of the food chain, right? What I can do with all these different ideas is say, okay, what are these things really saying? Well, it sounds like bees are really important. It sounds like bees are an important part of the animal kingdom. So maybe I'll write my paper on the idea that we should probably respect bees a little bit more, and that we should look at bees with a higher esteem because of how much work they do in nature, right? So maybe, okay, I'm going to write my paper on the importance of the honeybee in human life, right? If I could write. The importance of the honeybee, right? So that's my subject line, right? From this is I'm going to draw the rest of my paper, right? The first sentence in your introduction paragraph should be an opener or a hook, right? The reason why is because I'm probably going to determine whether or not I want to read your paper based on the first sentence. You paying attention, Jack? Jack, don't make me come troll your YouTube page. Don't get trolled, man. The hook is important because if the first sentence of your paper is, this paper is going to be about bees, right? I mean, how boring is that? Right? That's not exciting at all. I want to do something like, did you know that without bees, none of us would probably survive? Right? Like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder why that is. Or, hey, did you know that that bees feed half of the animal kingdom by the work they do. It's something to draw in the attention of the reader. It shouldn't just be, I'm about to write about bees. Great. That's not exciting at all, right? So the first one is the hook. It should be followed by 3 to 4 supporting sentences. Now, you're not necessarily supporting the hook, right? You're not necessarily doing that. What you're doing is you're building up to state your thesis statement at the end. And that's your final part of this, is your thesis statement, right? So you would say something like, did you know without honeybees, none of us would survive? The honeybee is one of the most important animals in the animal kingdom. The work that they do is essential to ensure the food chain stays intact and the rest of the animal kingdom can be fed. Without the honeybee, it would be very difficult to live on this planet, right? And now your thesis statement, without the honeybee, it would be very difficult to live on this planet. You would paint a picture as to why that's true. That's what your paper is going to be about, right? You're going to explain in your paper why you made that statement. Why would it be difficult? And then maybe your first paragraph would be painting a picture of a world without the honeybee. No more flowers, right? No more cross-pollination of plants, right? Honey is no longer on the shelves. Imagine a world without the honeybee, right? And then your second paragraph could be all the specific details of what they actually do, right? But your intro should be a hook, something interesting about the subject, 3 to 4 supporting sentences building up to your thesis statement. Your thesis statement is the centerpiece of your entire paper. It is the statement that you're going to prove with your paper, essentially. Does everybody understand that? All right. That's okay, Bella. So, introduction paragraph. Your subject, choose a hook statement. What's up, Bella? Yes. Yeah, it'll be on the website. That's okay. You didn't miss anything. So again, when you choose your subject, if you haven't chosen a subject, you should go do that. Choose an article off the website that I posted. Okay. And the first thing I want you to work on, what I want you to do tonight for grammar, is I want you to give me a hook. Remember, the hook is your interesting, statement. What are you going to open up your paper with? What's going to draw my attention? Why am I going to want to read this? Okay. 2, you're going to give me 3 to 4 supporting sentences. I'm going to upload a handout as soon as we're done here. And you're essentially going to fill it out. Okay. It's going to have a place for a hook, a place for 3 to 4 supporting sentences, and then you're going to give me your thesis. Listen, thesis statements are not easy. Okay. They're difficult to write. You have to be clever. You have to think about it. What is the thing that you're really trying to say? Right? Think about the subject. What do you want to focus in on? Many of these articles you're going to choose are going to offer you all kinds of different subjects to write about. Right? What you don't want to do is write some general summary as to what the article's about. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a summary. I'm looking for a paper on a specific part of the article itself. What do you want to hone in on? right? Like I said, if it's about the coronavirus, maybe you want to write about personal hygiene, right? Maybe you want to write about how, we should treat each other during times of calamity. Whatever it is, it needs to be a specific subject based on the article that you chose. Does that make sense? So as soon as we're done here, I'm going to upload that to the site. What we're going to do, since we might as well, I was going to have you guys take a science quiz and a history quiz today, but since I haven't had some of you and I don't know where you are in the book, who does not have their science book with them right now? Who does not have their science book right now with them? Okay, well, you guys should have read through you should have read through 9.2 all the way to 257. You should have read 254, 255, 256, and 257. Right? Yeah, Bella, all the quizzes are going to be open book. All the tests and quizzes are open book. Okay. The only thing that's not going to be open book is your spelling, and we'll talk about that. But what I want you to do is I want you to go to 9.2 it talks about hurricanes, and I want you to read those pages if you haven't done that already. Okay. There's a video I put out yesterday. I read through it. You okay there, Eric? Okay. Remember we talked about what a hurricane is. Yeah, I know Eric needs to be careful. What it's going to tell you in the book essentially is that a hurricane is a low pressure system. Okay. And now, so we're getting into science at this point, obviously. And a low pressure system means that the air is going upwards. Okay. This is the center. This is the eye. Right. And in the eye, there's a high pressure system. Essentially, the air is sinking slowly. Right? So what you have is all around this storm is being fed by these updrafts, right? And that's what causes the hurricane to become more powerful. You're going to read about that in 9.2. And there should be that video up there as well where I read through the entire 9.2 section for you and explained some things. So watch that video. It's there for you. What we're going to do is I'm going to have you I'm going to post the quiz. I'll post the quiz in the next 15, 20 minutes, and you can take it. It's going to be multiple choice, and it's open book. Make sure you know the answers because we don't know when we're going back to school. So if we're back on the 15th, and you have to take a test at the end of this unit, that test is not going to be open book. So take advantage of this time you have now to study. All right. Any questions? For history, okay, same thing. I'm going to post, let's see, we've been through, yesterday I put out a video on 11.1, and you have a section 11.1 review you guys should have done, right? And what I want you to do, if you've done the section 11.1 review, which you should have, I want you to begin to read 11.2. And 11.2 goes all the way to 166. Right? And I will... yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute. And I will put a video out on 11.2 as well, probably this evening. And I will upload the pages if you don't have your book. So go back over 9.2. You will be taking a quiz today if you want to take it today. If you don't want to take it today, you can take it tomorrow morning if you want some extra time to study. So that will be up on the website. There will also be a history quiz on 11.1. That will be up there probably this evening. Your spelling tests. I need your parents to dictate your spelling tests. So I'm going to be giving your parents a call in a little bit here to try to talk to them, because they're going to have to do that. I'm going to have to rely on them to, because it needs to be dictated. It can't be open book. It wouldn't make sense. Any questions? The chat, I'm going to put a button up there now. If you need to get a hold of me, you can just click that. I know it's not there now, but I will be there in a minute. Any questions or concerns? All right. So I will listen. If you guys have any issues with the website, please let me know. Okay, give me a call. But I will talk to you guys later. I'm going to be uploading stuff to the classroom, so pay attention. You'll have some stuff up there in a little bit to do.